Hi, this is Cecelia from Tarot by Cecelia, and this is your weekly tarot guidance for the week of October the 9th through the 15th of 2017. And this is a very big week coming up here. On the 10th, we will have Jupiter enter Scorpio, where it will remain for the next 13 months. And of course, I'll be doing a special guidance for that will be available through both Patreon and YouTube. On the 14th, Venus will be going home to the sign of Libra, where it's very, very comfortable. So what has changed for you since last week's full moon? Because we have been talking about this space that's approaching. A little more so next week, but, the balance is wanting to come in. Or you're balancing a little bit better. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas before, you felt all the time like you were doing the two-step. You couldn't quite navigate it all. It really is happening where you're making the switch. I don't know of a better word to use there, because the things that you're trying to balance out are kind of like old life, new life. Leave that one behind and begin a new adventure. And you're more than ready at this point. You are more than ready. You've been working on this for a while. So it's like it's here. And when I look at it, I almost don't even know what to say, because I think that there's something coming up in these next couple of weeks that really puts you in a wonderful spot come next month. And things just continue to grow. You stepped into this new part of you back around the equinox, and there's more success. Like, the success is growing. It's giving you more emotional fulfillment as you go along. And that doesn't mean that it's just emotional. I mean, it can be doing better at your job, better with relationships. Relationships, I mean, Venus and Libra, something has to feel better around both money and love with Venus and Libra, okay? Because it's in a place that it likes to be. For some reason, that real rebirth wants to come next week, at the time of the new moon on the 19th. But hey, we're almost there, right? So, there's a lot to consider here. Many of you have been on a quest for better health and trying to, regulate that. So, there's a change there. Whether it's, trying to get your weight under control, or specific health issues that you're trying to bring, even if you can't bring them to an end, to make it manageable to where you feel more carefree. So there's a lot that's going on here. And there have been several areas in your life that have required balance. And I still think that you feel much better about it all sometime next month. So as we go along, we'll see how that plays out. But what I see here is that you are recognizing the transition that's been taking place in your life. This bigger transition really kind of started back in that late May, early June timeframe, but it kind of got off to a slow start. You had to get past eclipse season and the Mercury retrograde and a number of other retrograde planets as well, so that you could say, okay, I'm closing the door, I'm at my new beginning. But, your biggest focus is a more secure life. And as I said before, that is not the same for everyone. That's not to say that you're solely focused on money or finances or your work, but that you want a fresh new beginning where you have created something that allows you to feel good, to feel comfortable with yourself, with your home life, with your job. And you're going to continue to build on this now. I am loving it because I want to see where it's going as people's lives begin to improve. Now, I would be very foolish and very remiss if I said that everyone, everywhere, was going to just have things getting better, okay? Obviously, there are going to be people out there, what goes up must come down. So, there's some sort of I don't know what you want to call it going on in the universe, but if let's say haves and have-nots. I don't know what other words to use, just as an example. But the have-nots are coming into the time of having. And this is a very long-term situation that's coming into play here. So everything that you've done up to this point really truly counts. And it's going to take you very, very far into the future. So you see, you don't just get here and go, oh, okay, let me open the door. I've arrived at my new life. There's so much more to it, to be lived and to experience. And that's it. You're done with the old one. You're going to look it square in the eye and say, oh my God, the chills. I am ready for the next adventure. I love this. I absolutely love this. You know, your power has come through patience. Patience and incredible stamina. You know, that like where every time things didn't quite go your way, you came back and you tried again and again and again and again. And there were times when you felt betrayed, or that you totally felt stuck and you didn't think it was ever going to happen. It just isn't that way. Okay? You are making it, and the opportunities are coming to you. So you've eliminated people. You've eliminated a lot of things in order to make this work. Whatever works for you. That's what it's all about now. Change, where you are in control of your hopes and dreams. And you know, your decisions, the judgments that you make in your life, you don't have to defend yourself to anyone. And I think that you're learning about that trust in the universe. It's almost like blind faith. Like, I don't know really what this next part is all about, but I'm game. I can't wait to see what happens. Now, I almost think that like getting to here, like somewhere here in October, beginning of November, that there's a stretch that takes us right on through to sometime in March. We'll have to see what's going on then and what that's about, because I think by March you're feeling pretty good. You know, whatever you've done, I believe it allows you to bring in new experiences and actually make choices for your life that allow you to keep moving forward. You know, there's good news that's here. Okay, actually there's a lot of good news, and maybe it's not all this week, but I think there's definitely something that's happening. Okay, if there's been, see, there was a relationship that it actually has to get better. Okay, think about it that way. Maybe you didn't know what to do about it, is the best way that I can put it, because you felt like you gave it your all, and it didn't seem to work out. Call it feeling betrayed, whatever you want to call it, that you're like, well, maybe I just shouldn't be bothered. But there's a change there. Things are starting to smooth out. We talked about this somewhere, and I don't remember where it was, that there was a time frame that was coming where a particular relationship would be brought to the forefront, but it might be one that's been kind of simmering on the back burner for a long time, and with no one paying attention to it. And no, this is not about that person that you wish would call you and never does. Okay, it's not like that. This is something totally different. I kind of think that when it happens, you're going to be like, oh wow, okay. But you know, take your time with everything that comes up. There is no, you know, even if there is communication that suddenly comes in, it's not meant to be where you rush forward into anything. Take your time with it. See what's happening. You know, if someone else who hasn't spoken to you in years suddenly chooses to contact you, find out first what it's all about. But I do feel that this week there is a matter that I think you're putting to rest. Like, finally. You finally have the movement that's there, the information that's necessary to make that change. And this feels very important to you. You know, it has a little bit of loss associated with it, and it's around, you know, certain relationships and whatever. But honestly, it's what was meant to be. And, you know, there's no reason to hang on anymore. It's kind of like, not having second thoughts, but that should I stay or should I go? You need to go. You need to go wherever it is. It's time. It is time. Okay. There is just too much here. The guidance the universe is bringing is opening doors. You have to be paying attention. That's all. I think how far this segment takes you, that we're coming into here, really depends on, what you've done to this point. All right. And I think that if you have just like given up on all of that, whatever, for years of, yeah, that's how it feels. That's it. I don't need any of that anymore. Time for a new life, whatever it takes. So, you're working on the plan. I think you're always working on a plan, to be honest with you, to make things happen. So there's a careful review here. All right. And it could have to do with relationships, are they, can you repair them? All right. If there was a separation, let's say that there was somebody that was around and then they're not, and then you're elsewhere. I don't even know how to put this, but I can see it in my mind. You really need to figure out, is this repairable? Is there too much damage that has been done? Because the door is going to open. It's opening soon. All right. It's definitely opening soon. Now, the biggest change with it is probably not going to come until we get to the solstice in December. But you're going to say, oh my goodness. Think about that. All right. Now, also, on the 23rd of this month, the sun will be entering Scorpio. I just have a feeling, because I keep saying November. I think it's when the sun changes signs that you're going to say, wow, things are moving. I'm in charge. Here's my wishes. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is like, you can't make this stuff up. There's something going on. So it's been a process. It's not like you had to wait till you get up to where the sun is in Scorpio for success. But I think it's where that you really, there's those chills again. Like, wow, I did it. In other words, how when you make some progress and then you feel stalled, and you make some progress and then you feel stalled, or you feel like things go backward. You're no longer feeling like you're going backward. I think that's what's the most important thing. That there is something that, this is it. I'm on my way. It really is happening. It's a done deal. And this is an event that's taking place in my life. This is incredible. So, this week really feels like you kind of just need to keep on going with the flow, not causing any turbulence around you, because it's like you're almost there. Right? You're almost there. It's amazing. Another week, another 2 weeks, you're just seeing everything just opens up. It just happens. And I'm almost speechless and tongue-tied here. But it doesn't mean that you've waited all this time, because you really had the impetus to just like, okay, that's it. The eclipses came. Boom. I'm doing it. Whatever it takes, I'm doing it. Saturn went direct. Don't hold me back anymore, Saturn. I'm going. Okay? I'm telling you. You've been moving along, and you've been working on every facet of this list, and to make this take place. Your rewards are coming. Your success is going to be here. Oh my goodness. I mean, like, you are breaking out big time. Oh, life is just it's going to blossom. See, that's the thing. It's going to blossom in such a way, and it's through all of this hard work and effort that you've put into it. That's an amazing thing. You have created this. We can give props to the universe if we want, but if you didn't participate It wasn't going to happen. The universe was never, ever going to hand it to you and say, here you go. You know, you've been sitting there waiting and wishing and hoping. Here, you didn't do anything, but here you go. No, that's not going to happen. You put in the work and you deserve what you're getting. Now, that balance and that fairness where you really, really feel good, I'm going to say between, you know, the full moon and the new moon in November, you're there, like you're in that sweet spot. You're like, wow, I can't believe this happened. Talk about, I mean, there is just this, like, when I started off here and I said, you know, after, you know, next week's new moon, there's something where you're feeling reborn. This feeling continues. It continues to grow because I think you have become more in tune with how things can change. You know, where, you know, life sometimes feels like it drags you all the way down to the bottom. And what did you do to crawl back out of that hole that you felt like you were in? It's amazing. Okay, there is nothing here but success. And I want to say power, but it's not power where like you have power over someone else. It's just that you don't feel like everything else has power but you. You're coming into your own power and taking it back. And there's this wonderful sense of generosity here. And I don't know how else to explain it other than, you know, when really good things start happening to good people, you know, your whole demeanor changes. And it's not saying that you're walking through town handing out $100 bills or something. It's not like that. It's just that you kind of exude that generosity and compassion toward others. Your whole demeanor lightens up and people can see it, and you're more caring and more sharing, and it's a wonderful thing. And I think, you know, it's like that paying it forward kind of thing where, you know, sometimes people will do that. Just be nice to another person. But what's spurring that on is how good you feel about what's happened. There is major change that's coming here, and it's all good. Okay, the bad is long done. You know, the worst part, I think you have a long time to go before you see anything like that again. You know, maybe 20 some years before you're going, oh my God, Cecelia, what's going on? Okay, probably 20 some years I won't be doing this, but I know that's the thing. It's coming, and you are going to like next month, whatever it is, whatever that spot is that you're in. You know, you're not staying in it, but you're going to say, wow, this is so much better. Now, and you're not going to say it was worth it either. I don't know that I would, but you will be thankful that you have made it there. So I want to thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you here again real soon. Take care.